Hello guys, what's going on? How are we doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about the Season 5 patch notes for League Play. So make sure you stay tuned for all of the information. Just a quick note on the background gameplay. It was a game I got quite late at night, and I go 33-7 on hardpoint standoff. It's not a killer gameplay, but I thought it'd be a nice one just having the background. So, and I think I'll get a best play with an assassination and the kill cam as well. So make sure you stay to the end to watch that. But kicking off with Season 5 patch notes for League Play. Unfortunately, the season has been delayed by a day. Apparently, there were some quality of life fixes they need to be doing. So it's not actually going to be dropping today. It's going to be dropping tomorrow for you guys in the UK, and tonight for you guys in America. Moving straight on to the patch notes. Obviously, I'm not going to touch... I sort of did a brief overview of Season 5 in my last video. For you guys who want to find out what's coming for things that aren't in League Play, but this video is going to be solely based on League Play. So if you're a fan of League Play, make sure you stick around for this. Moving straight onto it, we're going to have two new weapons added to the pool. There's going to be the EM2 Assault Rifle and the Tech 9 SMG. I'm not really sure what the stats are of these, but it'll be interesting to see how these play out in League Play. But as that's all the information I have with these, I'm just going to be moving straight on. Following this, there are also a few updates to the weapons. XM4 has had a bit of a mix around with all of its attachments. I don't think anything will be affecting League Play too much. They've buffed the reload speed a bit, so it's a bit quicker as the standard reload. But other than that, all they've really changed is recoil properties for the infantry compensator, some magazines, and things like that. But I don't think it's going to be, it's not going to affect League Play too much, just simply because I think a lot of the attachments it's sort of fixed aren't allowed in League Play. I think they're GA'd, so that's how it is. But feel free to check on, log on and see it for yourself. Moving on to the QBZ. It's not something I've seen in League Play for a while, but they've reduced the recoil by 10%. So the QBZ used to be a bit of a bouncy gun. It was I think it's one of the least used ARs in the game for League Play. Well, other than the GA'd ones. So they've decided to buff the recoil a little bit. So now they've reduced the recoil by 10%. So it might be a bit easier to use at range. Might be a bit more competitive against the Krieg. So yeah, that's pretty good. Moving on to the FAR. It's had a buff. One of my favourite guns has had a buff. I'm super buzzed about this one. Essentially, they're trying to make it more of a close range gun. Because that's pretty much its intention, its whole purpose is to be a close range gun. So what they've done, they've increased the close range damage at 12.5, just over 12.5 meters. They've increased the hip fire accuracy by 14%. They've reduced the sprint to fire time penalty on a Spotlight, which obviously isn't effective with lean play. If you guys use the range barrel on your FFAR, they've reduced the aim walk-in movement speed penalty from minus 20% to minus 5%. So you're going to be able to move quicker whilst ADS with the range barrel. They've affected the reinforced, task force, and takedown barrel, but obviously no one really uses them in League Play, so that's that. All other ranges and stuff are going to be unaffected, so it's still going to be able to map across map. If you could do that anyway, if you could control the recoil, and it's also going to be hitting just harder at close ranges. So I'm super excited to try this out in League Play. Yeah, exciting stuff, exciting stuff. Moving on, the Groza's had a bit of a buff. Again, they've really reduced its recoil. I think they've just sort of taken the guns which aren't quite so much as used in the game, and sort of tried to make them a bit more balanced and, to keep up with the other guns. So they've reduced the recoil by 15%. They've reduced the weapon movement while walking in ADS. So as you walk in ADS, I don't know whether you guys have noticed, but it sort of bounces around a bit. They've played around with some of the attachments, and they've made the iron sights a little bit cleaner. So yeah, again, exciting stuff. It means we might be seeing the Groza, come into play somewhat in League Play. But we'll see. It'll be exciting. It'll be exciting. Finally, moving on to the FFAR. They've reduced. They haven't done really much for this, but they've reduced the initial recoil when firing the weapon. To be fair, I don't think it needed too much of a fix. As you can see in this game, I picked it up a couple of times and it was absolutely fine. But they've also made the iron sights a little bit cleaner on this gun as well. Moving on to the C58, they've completely overhauled the recoil system. If you guys have ever tried using this in League Play or even multiplayer, it's atrocious. The gun's so difficult to use. So they've overhauled the recoil system completely. They've improved the weapon visibility when initially firing, so I'm assuming there won't be much of a glare when you fire. They've increased the effective damage range by 5 meters, and they've also reduced the effective damage range penalty on suppressor attachments. So the suppressors are going to be a little bit more longer range than they used to be, but again, not League Play related, simply because we don't have suppressors in League Play. The KSP's range has been reduced, as well as its burst delay. It's been also extended, which means it's not going to be able to shoot as faster, and it's going to be less competitive in those longer range gunfights, so that'll be pretty good. I think the KSP needed a bit of a nerf, because close it's like a shotgun, and it was still pretty good, because you could one burst people, and it was still pretty good at those longer ranges if you were accurate. They've played out the LC10. I'll read it just because it's here. They've reduced the minimum damage range from 50 to 45, and they've increased the recoil on the 1st and 12th bullets, which means that essentially it's just harder to use. But again, the LC10's not in League Play. You got GA, thank God, so we won't be seeing that. Obviously, we've got new maps coming. I think slums might be added to the League Play rotation, possibly. That'll be interesting, but I'm not sure, so I can't really confirm that just yet. And they've also added. I don't know whether you guys noticed it, but when it was the best play, it used to fade to black a bit. They've now only restricted that to it will now only occur in multi-team modes, which is pretty good, because otherwise it was a little bit annoying. With regards to actual League Play, they haven't really changed much, other than the fact that the map and mode will now only be shown once all players have been found and locked in. I sort of agree with this. It was nice to not be able to play things, but it turns people were lobby shopping. They were, it wasn't a mode they liked. If it was S&D, for example, they'd back out and research. The devs obviously don't want that. They want people playing a variety of game modes. So they've made it so that the mode and map will only be shown once everyone's been locked in. But yeah, so that's really going to be it with regards to the League Play patch notes. There's not much else to say other than that. Feel free to check out the patch notes. I'm going to link them down in the description. Yeah. I hope that you guys found this useful, and here is my best play with an assassination. Unfortunately, I had the leaderboard up, but yeah, it's what it is. Let me know what you guys think of the patch notes, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.